By working together on our One Ford plan, we have accomplished so much in the past few years, and we have so much to be proud of. The implementation of our One Ford plan has laid the foundation and has put us in a position to move our business forward and go further. We all have stories about how our talented Ford team is working together and going further every day in their jobs. In the spirit of One Ford, let's hear those stories from our team.
What separates, what's the differentiator between a good company and what a great company does?
Thinking about how we can make it better, how we can make it stronger, how we can make it lighter, without compromising anything.
Find ways to make a difference in people's lives beyond the conventional. We wanted to revolutionize the notion of what a car does.
Someone brings me an idea and I say, that's a good idea. Go talk about it with your colleagues, and then it's amazing what happens. They go off, they work together, and they come back with a great idea.
I have a diary where I sketch only people every day to capture the character or the face of people. I mean, we're creating cars for our customers, for people. As a designer, I need to learn definitely who these people are.
Imagine that you showed up somewhere with your vehicle and I told you to step out of the vehicle and I asked the car to go pick up your dry cleaning and then drive home and park itself. If you can make a car smart enough to drive itself, then you can also make technologies that will provide driver convenience and safety features in the future.
When we had the situation in Thailand with the flood, 5 or 6 industrial estates were flooded with water.
It rose very quickly. In the factory was over 2 meters over my head. In the midst of big trouble, the only people you can go to are your old friends. One of my major customers is Ford, and I could get things done.
What do we need to do, and what can be done?
You can imagine this place filled up with water. It's dark, it's dirty.
There were reports of crocodiles and snakes when they were still standing in that water trying to fetch parts for us. It just shows how, partnerships can bring out something that's beyond the ordinary.
In my area, we got about 17 inches of snow.
Looked like a war zone. I mean, trees down.
Trees literally split down the center.
Without power, we didn't have any lights. We got the generator at 11 o'clock at night.
They wanted to come in. They wanted to see what they can do.
99% of the people were here and working.
That commitment to kind of be the best at what we do.
Everybody goes above and beyond.
When I first arrived, the language wasn't something I thought about at all. I worked with a team of translators and interpreters. I came to the realization I was just going to have to put in more effort to really step up my game, and after 6 or 8 months of really impossible work, I'm able to speak Romanian. Learning the language allows me to have that connection with people.
He was getting ready to go on his second deployment to Iraq, and he was going to be gone for a year, so he wanted to make sure that I had a safe vehicle to drive while he was gone because we have 2 children.
I had a little bit of a financial problem on my previous deployment.
Rodney had some difficulty in the past when he was on a previous tour in Iraq, damaged his credit.
We went through multiple credit unions. I've had 4 or 5 car loans through them.
They actually turned us down.
That's a real tough one there because here this guy is over there fighting to keep us safe here. And it's my job to solve their problem. I call myself the problem solver.
Ford Motor Credit actually came through for us and gave us the opportunity when nobody else did. Everybody goes through bad situations. They looked beyond that for us.
One of the viable technologies, I think, for the future is solar. And at our home, we've installed solar panels. They generate more energy than our home uses, and in the future, we hope to charge a battery electric vehicle with the extra energy that they generate.
In that case, the car would be completely carbon neutral.
As a Ford dealer, we are also feeling responsible. We introduced an electrical filling station to drive in, fill your car, and it's filled within 3 hours totally.
We invented this green zone concept where we created zones. You can go into the laptop, create zones on a map, and saying that that's a zone where I want to drive electrically in.
Reserving, say, an area around my son's school where I don't want to have my engine operating, or an area in a national park where I want to have my engine off.
Can an automotive industry survive just doing cars,
Or do we have to sell in the future mobility? With Asia, mainly China, where they showed that there's already a market of 30 million e-bikes. Our customers are looking for something to go to work, go to friends, and below 20 kilometers, he can do it with such a bicycle.
What's really exciting us about the technology which Ford is putting on the cars is what they call democratization of technology, meaning putting advanced functions on mid-size cars. Up to now, these kind of technologies have been mainly on high-end premium vehicles in very small numbers.
Affordable is nothing bad. It's actually really good. It's a really interesting concept to create a product which looks very good, looks very attractive, and is still affordable. I think this is a big influence in Ford future cars.
The Ford High School Science and Technology program, it's an outreach program that Ford supports. We invite high school students, introduce them to the area of science. This program is based on volunteer work. So all the engineers, volunteer their time. They come in on Saturday mornings. This is time that they typically would spend with their families. Yet they come and they spend it with their extended family, which is the community. It's a great program. The feedback that we got from the community is tremendous. It's been nothing but successful.
We've been in business with Ford Motor Company for over 48 years. My son, Luis Oscar, was born 14 years ago with Down syndrome. And hand in hand with Ford Motor Company, we put together such an emotional and successful project as Love Me As I Am Foundation, Quiéreme Como Soy, helping institutions that work to integrate special needs people to our society. In life, we need to give.
The head of our trauma center here at Theta Clark Hospital came to see me and said, John, we need a helicopter for our medevac unit, and it makes no economic sense. In serious accidents, we need to get to them in a hurry, and we need to get them back to the hospital as quickly as we can. It was $6.5 million, and within a month, we were able to raise the money. 4 or 5 months after we got the helicopter program running here, Dr. Georgian knocked on my door, and he said, John, I just want to tell you that we paid for your helicopter tonight. A little place across the lake from us. A grandfather backed over his 8-year-old granddaughter, and he said, there's no way that this kid would be alive tonight if we didn't have this helicopter. And she's going to be perfectly fine in a month or two.
Ford has been incredibly supportive of any of the military folks that serve in the reserve forces, including, the folks in my own building while I was away in Iraq. I started to get a lot of emails when I was over there saying, hey, what can we do for you? Can we send you care packages? I said, I'm not in need for anything. If you guys really feel compelled to help me out, I'd love to be able to have something to give to the kids when we roll into the towns. And they said, hey, we'll send you some stuffed animals and coloring books. How does that sound? And I said, that would be awesome. When you get that hug, from that 4 or 5-year-old kid or 6-year-old kid, it's universal.
My dream was to be a medical doctor, to help people, and I ended up being a safety engineer at Ford. I impact a much wider range of people. I help save many more lives.
At the end of the day, people don't walk out of this building and say, well, I'm done, I've done everything I can. That's really a one Ford team mindset.
E minha história vem de longo tempo dentro da Ford.
6 anos e tempinho já que eu tô com sangue azul já.
Já tenho sangue azul desde pequena, desde quando nasci.
I've always known that to get our product out to the customers and have it the best it can possibly be, we've got to work together.
Engineers together with folks in IT, folks in design, all together in one place to look at the world of tomorrow and then work backwards from there.
We have this can-do, will-do, must-do spirit in Ford.
We go further when we make a vehicle that can safely drive itself.
We go further when we all step up.
We go further when we bring together electrification and connectivity.
We go further when we connect with people.
We go further when we look at what we do today and try to make it better.
We go further when we chase dreams.
We go further when we take care of our own and we take care of those that are in our communities.
Hearing these great stories from our talented people around the world, you really appreciate the power of our plan. These are people who are living it every day. People who are not just inspired, but empowered to do extraordinary things in their jobs. As these stories show, we do amazing things. We push ourselves to come up with creative ideas. We go above and beyond to help people in need. We lead the way in taking care of our planet. And we still, to this day, are opening up the highways to all mankind. Simply put, here at Ford, we go further.